Hey book friends, welcome back to the channel. So I have a book haul for you today. I have a birthday book haul. It's kind of a special birthday. I officially turned 40 years old. Feels kind of the same, to be honest, but I was able to treat myself to some books in celebration of the fact that I am now 4 decades old. So come with me while I show you all the books I have acquired for my birthday and the couple months before that. So hi, my name is Angie. Welcome to the channel if you are new here, and welcome back if you have been coming for a while. So like I said, large book haul, and I'm just gonna jump in, and I have so many books that I'm probably not gonna spend a ton of time explaining each, but let's just get into this. So I will start with my book of the month books that I have gotten over the last couple of months. So pretty much the ones I've gotten this summer, and I love book of the month. I always have a link down below if you want to sign up for it or if you're at all curious about it. The reason I love book of the month as opposed to other subscription boxes, because this is the only one I participate in, I love it because you can easily skip. That's really it. I love the freedom of just being like, nope, I don't like any of these books. Like, I just looked at the August list. Nothing's really calling to me. I'm not a big like Karen Slaughter fan, and Alice Feeney I have found is not for me. So it's like I can look at those books and be like, no, I'm not interested, and I just skip a month. And so it's fantastic. I think that is well worth it. And then I'm able to wait for books that I really do want in hardcover and get them for much, much, much cheaper than if I were to get them on Amazon. So anyway, I'll stop talking about that and I will jump into the books I did get. So I got some Blake Crouch. I just read this one, Dark Matter, and I've been talking about it to everybody. I really liked it. I will link the last Friday reads where I talked about this, where I talked about my final thoughts on it, if you're at all interested. But I know a lot of people have read it. But Blake Crouch just came out with a new one called Upgrade, which just sounds very interesting. It has to do with like hacking into somebody's DNA and making them like better. And I think it has to do with this man who is finding out that he is slowly like becoming better at things, more agile, quicker, smarter, things like that, and realizing that maybe somebody has messed with his DNA and trying to get to the bottom of it and maybe save the world in the process. I'm not quite sure. But I really enjoyed the style of writing of Dark Matter, which is just kind of a sci-fi thriller. I like that combo, and so I thought I would pick up the next one of his. The other thing, I picked up the new Riley Sager book, The House Across the Lake. You guys, I am still working on finishing it. I don't know why I'm not picking it up, but I'm really excited to get to it. It's about this retired actress named Casey who moves to her family's lake house and then makes friends with the people across the lake, but then sinister things start to happen. That's about all I know. I haven't got further, and it's more fun to go into Riley Sager books a little bit blind anyway. So that one looks really good, and I really need to finish it because I did start it. Okay, next book. So this one just looked sweet. I'm not sure if that is how it truly is. It's called The Wedding Dress Sewing Club by Jennifer Ryan. So this is a World War II story about a group of women who form this sewing club. It has to do with wedding dresses and repairing wedding dresses during World War II. So to me, I've been struggling to pick up World War II books, really any historical fiction books lately, because they're just a little too weighty for me in my current life right now. But this one just sounded very World War II adjacent. Like, it sounds like a really cool story without being too heavy, I'm hoping. I don't know though, I thought it sounded really good. So I picked this one up and I'm excited to get to it. Okay, where to start now? Oh, I think I'll just start with this. It's even hard to hold up, so I'll show you. Okay guys, I bought almost all the Robin Hobb books. I've been talking about how much I have really enjoyed her writing, how much I really enjoyed the Farseer trilogy, which is the first trilogy in the Realm of the Elderlings world, which is made up of 5 different book series. And so I wanted to pick up the books I had already read. I borrowed these from my sister to read them initially, and I wanted my own copies of these books because I love them and I want to be able to share them with others. But then I also picked up the next 2 series. So I picked up these ones. I actually ended up getting these used, which I always love trying to find a good deal. So this second trilogy has Ship of Magic, The Mad Ship, and Ship of Destiny. It is called the Live Ship Trader series. So What it is generally about is it is in the same world as the Farseer trilogy, which had to do with the main character of Fitz. And he was dropped off at the castle by his maternal grandfather and was told that they could raise him because he was the bastard son of the prince in waiting. And then things unfolded from there, where he starts out at 6 years old and ends up that first book around 15, and he's raised by the stable master, but yet the king takes a bit of an interest in him and wants to make him the royal assassin. And then book 2 and 3 kind of continue that storyline of Fitz and what's going on initially in that first series. But then you have the second series, which has to do with ships. And it feels like a complete 180 from that first series, but yet it is in the same world. But I've heard it is quite different, as where the first set of books is more character focused. It's focused mostly on one person, Fitz. And I've heard this second set has multiple POVs, and it's about this place that has these live ships. And live ships are basically ships that have come alive, that now have personalities and thoughts and motives and things like that. And that happens when one member of 3 successive generations of one family dies on the deck of the ship. Basically, it makes the ship magical, and there's pirates involved and sea serpents involved, and it goes from there. And I've heard it is more action-packed, like it goes quicker, it's more plot-driven than, say, that first series. So I'm really interested in what I think about it. I'm a little anxious because I just loved that first series so much. Obviously, or I wouldn't have just gone out and bought all of these books. And they're all like 800-900 pages. So the second series I picked up is called the Tawny Man Trilogy, and it is the third series in this whole big world, and it's back to Fitz. So the books in this one are called Fool's Errand, The Golden Fool, and Fool's Fate. We go back to the point of view of Fitz, and it picks up where we left off at the very end of the third book in the Farseer trilogy, which I just loved the end, and I just don't know where it's going to go. And so it has Fitz again and all of those characters, which obviously I'm not going to get too much into, but I'm so jazzed to get back into his world, and I'm hoping I like the books about ships in the meantime. So I picked up a lot of Robin Hobb, I know, and it's safe to say that she is now my favorite author of 2022, at least. So far, I've been the most obsessed about these books. Okay, next I'm gonna show you books from my sister. So this first one is an actual birthday gift. I requested this box set of the Lord of the Rings books because I just love this story. I reread it every, 5 years or so. I'm jump back into Middle Earth and just enjoy the stories over again. And I feel like a number of people have these copies. But here's The Hobbit. Isn't that beautiful? And here's The Fellowship of the Ring. The Two Towers. And The Return of the King. But let me show you some of the other ones that she has gifted me. I have the kindest sister. She just gives me books when she has extra copies of the books. And so sometimes I end up with YA, but I'm often surprised at how much I like it. So let me show you what I got. So she gave me this one. It's called Only a Monster by Vanessa Len. I think this is her debut book. It is really cool. I don't usually get the fancy books like the sprayed edges and the fancy editions. But if she's going to give it to me, I will take it. So this is, I believe, a YA book about this family of monsters. And the main character, the girl, doesn't want to share the fact that she's a family of monsters. And I think there is like a boy that she knows and maybe likes that is a monster hunter. So you can see kind of where it's going to go. She also gifted me these books. And I have been looking at these for a while. I think they always come up in like winter TBR videos. And I always see like this one. A Winter's Promise, and I'm like, that just looks so cold and wintry. And so these have been on my radar for a while. So when she offered this set to me, I was like, yes, I will take it. I'm trying to think of what they are all called. Oh, they're the Mere Visitor, I think there's 4, quartet. I just have the first 3. And so what I understand these books to be about is this girl named Ophelia, who is in this world of like floating islands, which you can kind of see from the cover here. And I believe different islands have different powers or something like that. And then she is pulled into some kind of political thing. That's what I understand. And then the other books go from there. So the first book is A Winter Promise. And the second book is called The Missing of Claire de Lune. And then third one is called The Memory of Babel. So we'll see if I like them. It'd be kind of fun to read them all at once. Okay, and so she also gave me this book, which I've seen floating around so many places, but it is a Greek myth retelling. So this is about a woman, Ariadne. I'm going to say it wrong every time, but I believe she's the princess on Crete. Yes, and she has a brother who is the Minotaur, and I believe her part in Greek history is that she teams up with somebody to have him killed. I'm not 100% sure, but I think there's some sort of romance between the person that she helps kill her brother. Obviously, I don't know as much about it, but I've heard really good things, and I haven't really gotten into reading a lot of the Greek myth retellings, but there's some really good ones out these days. And then the last one she gifted me is another one of these like special editions, and it's the first adult Holly Black book. I have not read any Holly Black books. I know she is well known for her YA fantasy books, but this is called Book of Night, and I believe it's about like a thief. She's a thief, but she's also a magician who is able to manipulate shadows and like get into locked rooms and stuff like that, which is why she has a reputation of being a thief and things like that. And I think this book talks about the fact that she wants to like get away from that, but she gets pulled back in. That's what I understand. I've heard kind of mixed things about this book, but I'm often intrigued by authors who tend to be YA that then start writing adult, but I'm definitely willing to try some Holly Black. So the last things I have are kind of a miscellaneous stack. So I also did buy myself the second book in the Drowning Empire series. I never know what to call these series, but this is The Bone Shard Emperor, and I read The Bone Shard Daughter in the spring sometime, and I really enjoyed it. It's about this girl named Lynn who is the daughter of the emperor, and in this world they have bone shard magic, which is used to run the constructs, which are just kind of like animal robot type things that protect the kingdom, but the emperor is not willing to share the secret of the magic with her, so she kind of goes behind his back to acquire it. And that's really what the first book is about, and then it goes on into this one, which I'm excited to read because I was definitely drawn in to that first book. I really enjoyed the magic system. I didn't totally understand it, but I found it really intriguing, so I'm excited to pick this one up. And then I have a number of books that are more on the like non-fiction, like devotionals, as well as like science books, so which sounds about like me. So I picked up this book, Women of the Word, and this is by Jen Wilkins. I've been wanting to read some more of her stuff. This is a very small book, and I've already read it, and it has to do with some strategies for how to read your Bible better, and I found it really inspirational, and I really, really liked it. So I would recommend that if you wanted to pick it up. I also am in the process of reading this one, Gentle and Lowly by Dane Ortland. That's who it is. So I actually just made a video about this on my other channel, on my homeschool channel, because I was talking about like inspirational, encouraging books that I'm reading, and this is one of those that came up there. And then I also have this book, which I'm currently in the middle of, and I mentioned in that video as well, and it's The Life-Giving Parent by Clay and Sally Clarkson. I have been in a Sally Clarkson mood lately. I've been reading a lot of her stuff. I find a lot of encouragement from her writing style and how they parent and things like that, so I really wanted to get their parenting book. So I picked that one up, and I'm currently reading it. And then the last one I have here is Evolution and Intelligent Design in a Nutshell, and I'm currently reading it, and I'm really enjoying it. So anyway, that's what I have for my birthday book haul. Happy 40th birthday to me. And so give the video a thumbs up if you like haul videos, and subscribe to the channel if you want to. Otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next book video. Okay guys,